In November of 1991, Ormoc City awoke to a rain that seemed ordinary. Among the thousands going about their day were a young woman named Celia and her little brother Lito. They had no way of knowing that the rain above them was gathering strength, carrying a warning no one could yet hear. As the hours passed, the downpour grew heavier. Celia noticed the river rising, faster, darker, and angrier than she had ever seen. The water churned with mud, broken branches, and the forgotten wounds of the hills above them. Years of deforestation had stripped those hills bare. Without trees to hold the soil, the rain flowed straight into the river, feeding it, swelling it, turning it into a force no one could stop. By the time the danger became clear, it was already too late. Floodwater burst into Celia and Lito's small wooden home, lifting furniture, breaking walls, swallowing the floor. Celia grabbed Lito and held him close, forcing their way outside as the water climbed from their knees, to their waists, to their chests. Around them, neighbors screamed for help, searching for loved ones as the streets transformed into raging rivers. Celia fought the current with every step, desperate to reach higher ground. But the river had other plans. A sudden surge slammed into them, violent and merciless. Celia and Lito were swept away. Two rescuers pulled them onto the rooftop of a half-submerged house. Cold, shivering, but alive, Celia wrapped her arms around Lito as the storm raged through the night. When dawn finally broke, the rain had stopped, but Ormoc was forever changed. In the evacuation center, survivors gathered, wet, hungry, grieving, holding on to whatever remained. Yet even in the midst of devastation, kindness grew. Neighbors shared food, volunteers comforted strangers, and families embraced one another with trembling hands and breaking hearts. When Celia and Lito returned to what was left of their home, the loss felt overwhelming, but they were not alone. The community had begun to rebuild, shoveling mud, repairing walls, lifting one another from despair. Step by step, hand in hand, Ormoc stood up again. The flood was not just the story of a storm. It was the story of a river pushed beyond its limits, the price of human neglect, and the strength of a people who refused to surrender. Together they rebuilt, together they healed, and together they renewed.